Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here. We're 30 away from 16K now, so please do smash that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Apologies for the lack of videos over the past couple of days. I'm away at the moment on the move, but I am bringing you another video, guys, with all the latest Chelsea news. Obviously, a great win against Tottenham on Thursday night, which is really important, get ourselves back into the top four. And in today's video, guys, before the Brentford game, I'm going to be discussing the latest transfer news. Jamie Gittens, Chelsea's search for a striker, Victor Osimhen. These are amongst the topics at the moment. But let's start with Chelsea's search for a new striker, guys, because we know that Chelsea are keen to sign a striker this summer. We know that we've obviously fumbled the bag in the last two windows, didn't get the Osimhen deal done in the summer despite spending the whole summer trying to get him, and then we did nothing in January and paid the ultimate price for it with both our strikers getting injured. Now, the safe money would be on Liam Delap, but there are talks of Gyökeres and there are talks of Benjamin Sesko and there are talks of Alexander Isak if Newcastle change their stance and decide to sell, which is very, very unlikely. But according to Ben Jacobs, those are the four people on the list: Gyökeres, Isak if Newcastle sell, Delap and Benjamin Sesko. Now, I would look at that, and for me personally, if Chelsea are wanting to sign a striker that's going to take them to the next level and improve the striking options, there's one man on that list. And if Isak becomes available, you go for it. But the most realistic option would be Victor Gyökeres, because with the greatest of respects to the likes of Liam Delap and Benjamin Sesko, who are good players in their own right, these are still project players. These are players who are not going to come in and make an instant impact. So Liam Delap, for example, is someone who I like, someone who's a good profile, strong physical box presence, bit of a shithouse, can score goals. I mean, 11 goals in a really poor Ipswich side is not bad for his first season in Premier League football. Knows Enzo Maresca, knows Palmer, knows Lavia, etc. from the Man City Academy. But is he really going to come in and be the guy that helps fire Chelsea to competing for major trophies and winning major trophies? Certainly not in the first couple of years would be my thought. And the same with Benjamin Sesko as well. Obvious talent, bit more of a unique profile. But again, someone who's not really going to come in and make the instant impact that we're kind of looking for here. So with Gyökeres, it's the standout choice for me. It's probably the best choice on the market, the cheapest choice I'd imagine as well. He's going to be available for a lot less than his release clause. We do have one problem though, and that problem is Arsenal. And it's not something I thought I'd be saying in the transfer market, but such are the times right now, guys, is that Arsenal ultimately are probably more attractive than Chelsea at this point in time. If we do not qualify for the Champions League, then we do not get to sit at the table for the Gyökeres conversations. It's as simple as that, people. Absolutely as simple as that. I'm concerned because Andrea Berta is in his sporting director now. He doesn't mess about. Looks like Arsenal are serious about Gyökeres, and some reports suggest that Gyökeres is open to a move to Arsenal. So we need to get that Champions League football, and we need to do everything we can to try and sign Gyökeres. In terms of in terms of Victor Osimhen, Ben Jacobs reporting that it's looking less likely that Chelsea will revisit a move for him. Osimhen's not prepared to drop his wage demands, and Chelsea are very strict and insistent on their incentive-based wage structure. So as much as Osimhen would be a good choice, and as much as, apparently Osimhen, according to some reports, is at least still on Chelsea's list of possible options, Ben Jacobs reporting that it's not looking particularly likely that Chelsea will go back in for a deal for Osimhen. It's clear that he doesn't want to drop his wages, and this is why I don't understand all this nonsense from Mikel and stuff in the summer, where like, oh, he really wants to come, he loves the club and whatnot, he wants to play in the Premier League, he wants to come to Chelsea. Bro, if you want to come to Chelsea, with the greatest of respects, you're not poor. You won't earn a pittance at Chelsea. If you really want to come to Chelsea, you take a bit of a pay cut, or you have to have a bit more success to earn your money. And for me, again, look, I see it from both points of view. I see it from that point of view from myself, and then I can also see it from a point of view where, do you know what? You rate yourself, you back yourself, you think that's what you're worth, you can get what you're worth elsewhere, then fair enough. But we could come into a situation where we do kind of cause our own problems here by not being prepared to maybe push the boat out a little bit for certain players. I do think that we will get a a striker in potentially before the Club World Cup. You know, the Club World Cup this summer is making a real big difference to the way teams are going to do their business, the way teams are looking to do their business early. They want players in for the Club World Cup before it starts. The Club World Cup really is going to kind of act as a bit of a pre-season, which is going to be interesting in its own right. I don't know how it's going to affect next season. That's kind of a separate conversation. But you know, we've got Quenda done for 26. We've got Asugu coming in who's going to play in the Club World Cup. If we can get a striker in for the Club World Cup and get as much of our business done as early as possible, I know we might not be able to do it all, then that is going to set us in good stead for next season. But yeah, the striker situation, if I'm being totally honest, guys, for me, unless there's a bit of a wild card name in there, it's going to be Delap or Sesko. And if I had to go for it, I would choose Liam Delap, but Liam Delap and Nicholas Jackson striking options for next season, it doesn't exactly scream, yeah, we're going to come and compete for the Premier League. But let's wait and see what happens on that one. In terms of wide players, another area of the pitch that Chelsea are really looking to strengthen. And again, still no updates on the Mykhailo Mudryk situation. Jadon Sancho almost feels like he's on a bit of an 8-game trial now between now and the end of the season as to whether Chelsea will pay the $5 million to send him back or not, or could Chelsea just keep him anyway and look to sell him for a profit, or look to use him as part of a deal for someone else. Fabrizio Romano reporting on Friday evening that Jamie Gittens is really high on Chelsea's list. Now, Gittens obviously ticks the mould. He come through the City Academy, I think he did. He obviously left very young. He's English, homegrown, maybe works quite well for us as well. If he qualifies that, I'm pretty sure he does. I mean, I might be wrong on that. Right age, Champions League experience, quite a lot of first team experience with Dortmund. You know, has a bit of a goal scoring threat. Is enjoying a good season, but again, he's young. He's not got the most experience, and it's someone that again you would be taking a considerable gamble on. And is that something we want to be doing at this point in time? You've got Esteval coming, you've got Quenda coming. Do you need another 20, 21-year-old wide player who, you know, there's no guarantees that he's going to come in and hit the ground running? It might take him a season or two to adapt to Chelsea, to the Premier League, to the style of play, to what Maresca asks of his wingers. And so there's a really big decision to be made there, because you've got Esteval, it's going to be one of the wingers. You've got Madueke, Sancho. You don't know what's going on with Mudryk. You've got Neto. You've obviously got Quenda coming in 2026. There's going to be some movement, and there probably is space for one more to come in. But that one more really needs, in my opinion, needs to be someone with a bit more know-how, a bit more experience, and someone that has a legitimate goal-scoring threat, someone that will take a man on, someone that can beat a man, someone that can put a decent ball into the box, someone who's not afraid to shoot, someone with a bit of a goal score, with a bit of an eye for goal. That for me is what we should be looking for in our winger targets. I mean, look, Gittens kind of makes sense in terms of Chelsea could potentially use Jadon Sancho as part of that deal. Dortmund would be keen to bring Sancho back as a replacement for Gittens. But again, if Chelsea paid a $5 million to send Sancho back to United, then obviously that's out of our realms of possibility to use him as part of the deal. So, which is why I'm saying potentially Chelsea might just activate this obligation anyway, and then look to use Sancho as part of a deal for Gittens if they're serious about signing the young winger from Dortmund. So there could be a bit of a transfer merry-go-round going on between Chelsea and Dortmund with Sancho and Gittens. I mean, in terms of other wide players, again, Nico Williams always gets mentioned, but we're just not going to pay those wages. So I don't really get why Chelsea's name gets grouped in with conversations about Nico Williams. Yeah, I mean, the winger market is not great. It's not great. I mean, I personally wouldn't mind someone like Ademola Lookman, but it's probably at 27, he probably doesn't fit what we're looking to do. But his goal scoring, winger experience, leadership qualities, yeah, you know, I think personally would be a good fit. London boy, point to prove in the Premier League. I think you could probably do a lot worse than that. But ultimately, I think we are going to end up with a lot of younger players. And I fear that really not too much is going to have changed in the way of the transfer policy. You need someone with know-how, someone with an experience. And the players that we're linked with, there's not many that are linked with experience and players that are ready to come in and make that instant impact. So it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, I'm hopeful that we can do what we should do. I've got no doubt that Chelsea will do what they want to do, but whether what they want to do is what's best for the club and what the club needs, the jury is still out on that one. But look, we've got to just do our best, get that Champions League football. That, again, will help us massively in terms of maybe being able to get to the table with conversations for players that other Champions League clubs are interested in. And yeah, just please get it right. But yeah, I'm a bit worried that we're probably we could end up with Gittens and Delap, which, okay, good promising players, but it's not exactly a needle mover, and it doesn't really change much, in my opinion, heading into next season. But that's just my thoughts on the latest transfer news, guys. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.